All right, it is roundup time. Now, recently we just did a roundup with a few smaller games. Now, actually, we're going to take a look at a brand new game to me. I don't know if it's actually that new, but it's something Tom sent me, Gnome Kingdom, as well as some older games because, let's see, we've been doing reviews on the Dice Tower as an official reviewer for 8 years now. So what I want to do is in this roundup is I also want to take a look at a segment called What Games I Wish I Still Had, based on some things I've reviewed in the past and went, man, I wish I still had that game. So we'll do that as well. So review of Gnome Kingdom. Not going to do the full rubric breakdown, but I'm going to give you the same kind of idea of the scores and give you a final score there. So let's take a look at what Gnome Kingdom does, and we'll come back up and talk final thoughts. All right, this is Gnome Kingdom. Here's Astrid, Michael Scott's goddaughter, right here, and this is the board. Now, this is the board at the end of the game. We know that because the crown way up here at the top. Now, I want to examine these tiles really quick. If you remember back to the Mega Man game, boy, that one broke my heart right there. But the Mega Man game is where basically you would have these challenges that you would need to roll dice for. Ella's saying hi. Hi. That's scram, kid. You would roll the dice to beat the challenges, and if you beat it, you got a reward, right? That's essentially what's happening here. You're going to start with your character down here, and then you will move up the path. Now, you will turn these over as the game progresses. So currently, at the beginning of the game, you'll start with that. And then as you succeed, so you need one dice with a 1, 2, or 3. You will take the dice that are given to you, and there are ways to mitigate with the dice. So we have a 1 here. Now, of the 1 that we use to complete the challenge, we can keep that on our board so that after we move and put a tile out there, we'll flip it over and choose which side to put it on. Okay, boom, I'm going to go here and I will get one of the grapes. Mine is purple, or I guess blackberries. I'm purple, so I get a special bonus because of the purple power. We have access to all the powers, but per the player color of that player, they will get a special power based on them being that color. So the purple dice here will allow me to turn a die to any color, which is really handy because you can mitigate things because some of these require your color. So this one has to be beat with a 1, 2, or 3 of my color or your color. That's what the flag is there for. You'll then continue doing this, and then you'll be able to buy cards down here with the dice. So this one would cost one single 1 die, and it's worth 2 points, and they all have powers at the bottom, a single 3. This one would cost 1 die of your color, a 5 of blue, and a 1, but you'll notice it's worth 7 points. That's how you're going to get points throughout the game, is by buying these cards, taking the special actions. Now, the meat of the game comes in when you fail, for instance. Say I failed getting this. I would then take the 3 resources that are on there. The resources are down here. You're going to spend them to use their powers. And the powers are how you mitigate the dice in order to pass those tests. You'll keep playing until someone turns over the crown. You'll finish that turn, have 1 more turn, then you'll count points. The person with the most points wins. Gnome Kingdom. So that's Gnome Kingdom. It is a kind of, I would say, path game, but the path really isn't that important as far as a few things that make, rules about moving left or right or up or down. But really and truly, the whole thing is about rolling the dice to complete the challenge for that level and then getting the resources in order to spend those resources to use them for other things. I think that's a really cool thing. The art's cute. The game looks really good. It's a little simplistic when it comes to what you're doing. You're basically just rolling combos of dice. However, you could say that about any of the Rising games, right? DC Rising or whatever it is. The Man Who Laughs Rising, Thanos Rising, all of those. You could say that about those too. You could say about Elder Sign, right? You're just locking in dice based on challenges. But there's something about this that's charming. Just the idea of being able to manipulate the dice by getting the powers. And if you fail to manipulate the dice, or if you fail the challenge, you get more powers to manipulate the dice. So it actually has got a pretty forgivable it's forgiving when it comes to, not doing so well with the dice roll. So I think that's really cool. Like I said, it's a cute game. It looks good. It's very simple. If you're going to teach a locked dice game or a dice challenge game, this is a really good one for that. I think it's just such a cute little game. And it teaches, basic personal player powers and some differences there. So I think it's really neat when it comes to that. Now, the one thing that's tricky is having access to the dice that you need to actually buy the cards makes it a little tricky to get points sometimes, because you could be technically locked out of buying points, not because you're doing poorly, but because you just don't have access to the dice in the dice pool. So that could be the downside there. So I'm going to say 7 out of 10 for Gnome Kingdom. The gnomes are great. It looks awesome. It's a little simple. You know, it's a smaller, not a whole ton of stuff going on there. And where it does have a lot of things going on, there's a lot of different player powers and rule breaky things on the cards. So in some ways it's too simple. In some ways it can be a little too complex if you're playing it. But Gnome Kingdom, a fun little game right there. Now, let's take a look way back. Because again, the Wayback Machine, one of the first reviews I ever did. Now, this segment of the roundup is going to be called Games I Wish I Still Had. Because today, oh my gosh, Food Chain Magnate. Now, I know there's the whole new Kickstarter version or whatever GameFound version coming out with all the high-def 3D parts. But man, I had this game when it first came out and I loved it. It was incredible. Like, I mean, I went out and bought on Etsy or Board Game Geek Store the little things where you could do the milestone cards. The downside of Food Chain Magnate was the fact that you had all of these just severe, if you don't do what this person does in the same turn, you're toast. Now, I know the catch-up mechanism came out, but I never played it. That's how long ago it's been since I've had my copy. I would love to get a copy of Food Chain Magnate again. Probably even the new special version, but I just found the old one charming. I loved the art style in it. I loved just the way the box looked. I loved almost the underproduced nature of it. To me, it was like a game you had from the 70s or 80s as opposed to a game trying to look like it's from that. To me, that was just really cool. Plus, I just like the economic system of it. You produce these, you sell these. Now, I think there should have been some tweaking in the game, a little more engine building about what you develop based on, instead of doing that just card tableau. Like, I would like to see a restaurant game that has a similar feel where you're building an engine where instead of doing wood and clay and whatever, you're making burgers, fries to meet the needs of people coming to your restaurant. Like, there's so many games like that I think that would be great to see a little more restaurant. Yeah, there's the Kitchen Rush game, but I want like basically Food Chain Magnate with the mechanics of the Colonist, basically. That's what I want. In fact, can we get the Colonist Magnate or the Food Chain Colonist? Yes, Food Chain Colonist, that's it. So, that is an old game review and a new game review here. Make sure to check out Gnome Kingdom. Like I said, I'm not at Gen Con right now. A little bummed about that. But just our schedule didn't work out this year. But if you are coming to the retreat, I will see you at the retreat with the merch store. We'll be at the retreat because there's plenty of room for merch at the retreat. So come check it out. And we will see you soon at Dice Tower Retreat.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.